In section 5, we're going to take a look at application of linear equations. So we're going to use what we know about the equation of a line and the formula for slope to apply it to word problems. Okay, so just giving you a reminder of the equation for a line is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept, and then the formula for the slope between 2 points is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So in our first example, we have that a plumber charges $25 for a service call plus $50 per hour of service. So we want to use that to write an equation in slope-intercept form for the cost C after h hours of service. So in this case, C is our y variable and h is our x. So we're going to write C equals, so we have to figure out our slope. So it's $50 per hour of service. So we're going to have 50h plus a one-time fee of the service call, 25. Now we want to use that equation to figure out the total cost for 8 hours of work. So C equals 50, and then we had 8 hours of work plus 25. So 50 times 8 plus 25 is going to give us a total cost of $425. And then in C, we want to find the total cost for 10 hours of work. So 50 times 10 plus 25. So 50 times 10 plus 25 gives us $525. So next we have that Rufus collected 100 pounds of aluminum cans to recycle. He plans to collect an additional 25 pounds each week. So we want to write the equation for the total pounds P of aluminum cans after W weeks. So P is our Y and W is our X. So we have P equals, and then he collects 25 pounds each week, so that's 25W, plus the current amount he already has, 100. So now we want to interpret what our slope represents. So our slope is 25, and it represents the amount, so the pounds of aluminum cans he will collect each week. Next, we want to know what the y-intercept represents. So our y-intercept is the 100. So that is the starting pounds of aluminum cans already collected. And then in D, we want to know how long will it take Rufus to collect 400 pounds of cans. So we know how many pounds we have, 400, equals our equation 25W plus 100. So we want to solve for the number of weeks. So first we're going to subtract 100. So we get 300 equals 25W. Then we're going to divide by 25. And 300 divided by 25 gives us 12 weeks. It's important that when you solve an application problem for a linear equation, that your final answer contains units, because it is a word problem, we need to have units. In our last example, we have a caterer charges $120 to cater a party for 15 people and $200 for 25 people. Assume that the cost y is a linear function of the number of x people. We want to write an equation in slope-intercept form for this function. So first we have to figure out our slope. We know the total amount charged for 15 people and the total amount charged for 25, but we don't know how much it is per person. So we know that we have to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we know the cost is y. So I can do 120 is y2. And 15 is x2. And then 200 will be y1. And 25 is x1. So we're going to do 120 minus 200 over 15 minus 25 to get our slope. So 120 minus 200 is negative 80, and 15 minus 25 is negative 10, which means we have a slope of 8. So we know it's $8 per person. We now need to figure out what the y-intercept is. So if there's a base fee for the cost. So I can use the fact that I know what it costs for 15 people to figure out if 8 times 15 is 120 to get my y-intercept. So 8 times 15 is 120. So there is no additional cost. And I can double check that 8 times 25 is also 200. So it's just the formula y equals 8x. There is no additional fee. So the slope is 8, and it represents the cost per person. So we want to know how much would a party for 40 people cost. So y equals 8 times 40. So 8 times 40, it would cost $320. Let me know if you have any questions over applications of linear equations.